Listen to this flashback of Skyline Radio Show.
So where we at? Where we talk about the effects and what's going on in these schools.
Yes.
And what people don't understand. Just real briefly, I just want to talk a little bit about what people say bullying is or is not. So bullying comes in many forms. It's a teasing, it's the cyberbullying, it's the texting, it's the phone calls, it's the posting of pictures and people's personal information to pretty much cause them harm, to have them feel insecure. It's the sex assaults that people actually put out there. There are physical assaults, and there are mental assaults and emotional assaults. And what I like to remind individuals that any aggressive behavior towards anyone that is unwanted and unwarranted, and an individual asks you to stop. Let's stop there. Stop.
And they should be respecting that.
Respecting that and respecting yourself, because when you're able to respect another person, you're able to respect yourself. And the way that you're able to show that respect is that you know that you have a gift, and you know you're uniquely made and that you matter, and then you also acknowledge that the next person beside you matters as well. Bullying is a behavior that underestimates the lives and legacy of you. I'm sure that when they was bullying me, and I'm sure when they was bullying you, they didn't understand who you're going to become later on. I didn't know.
Right, because I'm popping. I can't pop. All right, let me tell you, all those people who felt like they wanted to say whatever to me, look at me now. It's like, no, y'all don't understand, but I've been through some things, okay?
And you know what? No. I applaud you and I salute you, because a lot of times we do not take the time to say, I'm okay, and I'm okay with me, and there's nothing wrong with me, and I'm amazing, and I'm blessed, and I'm strong, and I matter.
Join us every Wednesday at 7 p.m. for Skyline Radio Show, only on BeExposedRadio.com.
This is a Poverty ENT exclusive. Next stop, Texaco. Strapped up, you already know. Fuck niggas hate, that's how it goes. Bros with me, yeah, it's time to go.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Welcome to another edition of Living a Rich Life Talk Show for individuals who believe in change in all aspects of life. I am your host, Rich James, and I believe living a rich life is made up of 6 elements: good health, strong relationships, financial freedom, goals and achievement, extraordinary experiences, and philanthropy. With that being said, I have one of the heavy hitters in the DMV area. So let's talk about it. Today, our featured guest, he studied at Morgan State University.
True.
And studied at Hampton University.
Briefly.
Owner of Events for Good People.
Yes.
Former Belvedere brand ambassador.
True.
Father, husband, and has become a close friend and associate of mine. Please welcome Mr. Azikiwe Deveaux.
Azikiwe Deveaux.
Azikiwe Deveaux. I tell you how many times I started that sometimes.
Right.
That's why I just called you Zeke.
Okay, that's true. Right. You've been taking a shortcut.
Yeah. Okay. That's how we do.
All
right. So there's always 2 questions that I generally have. The first question is pretty straightforward. Tell us, who is Zeke?
Zeke is Azikiwe Deveaux. And, business owner, like you said, proud father, dedicated husband, family man first. And, it wasn't always that way, but, it took a while to get there. But, long as you get there, right?
True.
So I feel like I got there, and fortunately was able to get there while my family still intact.
Right.
Some brothers don't get there in time. So I'm most proud of that.
Okay.
To have gotten to a place where I can say father, husband, and know that I'm fulfilling that
business needs.
that definition. Okay. But then what I'm most known for, obviously, is my business, Events for Good People, which I started about 17 years ago.
Wow.
Yep.
That's a good run.
Yeah. As I tell you, it's like every time, I may have thought, it had its run, something else will come up that just completely reinvigorates it and makes it new again. Okay. So as you mentioned with the Belvedere brand ambassadorship, that came in, I guess, about maybe year 5. And, young, partying I probably had about 3-4 parties a week back then. Right. And, all of them were jumping. And so jumping now. And got the attention of international company like Belvedere Vodka, and really leveraged my relationships with bars, clubs, and restaurants, and my crowd, my influence, to boost their sales by 500%. Wow. So that was like such a notable number that it attracted the attention of other liquor companies. Okay. So I worked with several other brands after Belvedere, most recently, Deveaux Cognac. Yes. Right.
My son loves that.
Oh yeah, okay.
My son loves that.
It's a great cognac, man. Yeah. And I'm proud that I'm proud to say I didn't say yes to every brand that approached me. Now I remember back in the day there was this thing called Pink Vodka. I don't know if you remember that.
Pink Vodka.
Pink Vodka. That was the name of it. It wasn't colored pink, but the name of it was P.I.N.K.
Okay.
Pink Vodka. But I was willing to give it a shot. I had a taste test. It was terrible. No offense to Pink Vodka if you're still out there.
Right.
But I was like, I can't attach my name to it.
Right. Okay.
So I learned, kind of early on, that you don't need to try to get every check. You want to get the right checks.
Right.
And so after Belvedere Vodka, I worked with Grey Goose for a little bit, which really set me up for the Deveaux. Because a lot of people don't know that Grey Goose and Deveaux are both under Bacardi. They're both Bacardi distributed under the
Educate me. I'm one of those that didn't know.
Right. So a lot of people, when they saw me with Deveaux, and they knew about the Rock Nation partnership, they assumed I got the gig because of my cousin Pecos, who is a VP at Rock Nation. VP of marketing at Rock Nation Sports. But people made that assumption, but couldn't be further from the truth. Right. I got the gig because they asked Grey Goose on the Bacardi side for recommendations for good influencers for liquor. So it's actually Grey Goose and then Deveaux, and then it just keeps recycling.
So Deveaux, that's the latest and greatest, right?
Deveaux, I learned a valuable lesson from Deveaux. I was with Deveaux about 6 years. I was with Belvedere for about 6 years. So those were probably the ones that are most notable because I was with them for so long. Deveaux might have been 6.5 actually. But which is very long for a ambassadorship, contract.
That's a healthy amount of time.
Right, because usually they're 1 year, 2 year, 3 years. But one thing I learned from the partnership, the brand ambassadorship with Deveaux, was that these are partnerships. These are clients, if you will, that I have contracts with to build and promote their brands, but to always maintain my own. Because when I was with Deveaux, I remember I ran into somebody, a friend of mine, I won't say his name, at a grocery store or something, I forget now, maybe at the mall, and he hadn't been out since like Eden's Lounge days. And so
did he just say Eden's Lounge?
Right.
Eden's Lounge. Okay.
So he was like, man, he said, I see you doing your thing. He said, you got to remember, don't forget about the little people. How cats talk their little smack. Don't forget about the little people, man, because I was with you since Events for Good People. Now you Deveaux. But he said that in a way as if events for good people was something I wasn't doing anymore.
Right.
So I said, all right, I made a little bit of a mistake with putting the client before my brand.
Gotcha.
So and after that, I learned it's always going to be events for good people. It's always E4GP.
Yep.
And then these other brands that want to leverage the relationships that I've built over the last 16, 17 years can, but they will come underneath the umbrella of events for good people.
Okay. Well, that's good. That's
you got to learn.
That makes sense.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. It's a learning process. So a few things that you mentioned, which kind of equates how I came up with the 6 elements of living a rich life. Because again, we're going to get to that because that's the last question that I ask you.
I see it. Right. Okay. I got to see. I got to see it on the mug here. Okay.
So you talked about a strong relation. Talked about relationships.
Yeah.
So those strong relationships technically help you build your brand, and then you had a vision. Say, hey, I need to really push, events for good people.
Right.
So again, it all comes together full circle.
Right.
So relationships play a role.
Yes.
And again, there's more to it as well because I've done surveys and I've asked folks different things, and they give me all types of answers.
Right.
Okay. Well, today's topic focus is extraordinary experiences. And again, one of the elements.
Right.
On top of that, I've been to some of your events.
Okay.
And let's just say I've had some extraordinary experiences. Right. In so many different
Appreciate
ways.
it.
Right. So I got a couple of questions. We're gonna keep this real free. Keep it real organic.
All right.
I'll be totally transparent with you.
Okay.
Some of the questions came from people that follow you. We have some mutual friends, and they want to know, hey.
Okay.
I want you to ask Zeke this question.
Okay.
Some stuff I couldn't.
Okay.
I wouldn't.
Right. I appreciate it. Don't
But
get me in trouble.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Happily married man.
And then we have a couple of different segments that we're going to go through because we have fun on this show.
Okay.
We play a few games here and there, but we're going to keep it nice and free.
Right.
All right. So one thing, there was a question that was asked. Who influenced you the most? Just in terms of running business. I mean, 17 years, Zeke, is a long time.
Yeah.
So who influenced you?
Well, you know what? I'll give a couple of people props because I used to do potlucks at my house.
Okay.
I had a nice loft on Charles and Preston, one of these top floors of these brownstones, and I had a rooftop deck back in the day. This is when I first graduated from Morgan. So I always, when I first graduated, I missed the social scene that campus provided. So I started having these get-togethers at my house, and I didn't want to cook for everybody, so I made them potlucks.
Okay, bring your own stuff.
Right. But people loved them, and I remember Brecklin Barbie, who I'm not sure if he's still in the area, and Derek Chase, who is obviously still around. Used to always say, man, you got to do one of these parties. All these people in your house, you got to do one of these. You got to do it in a club. So I'll give them props for really kind of putting the bug in my ear.
Okay.
And then once I got into the business, I really will say there were 3 people I talked to. I connected. Early on, I was doing a happy hour at Timothy Dean's.
Timothy Dean's, yes.
Timothy Dean's.
Yes.
So how that started was Tim actually approached me because I wasn't interested in getting into the weekly party thing. It was just I wasn't against it, but I just wasn't in my mind. I did some special events here and there. Of course, did homecoming events.
Right.
But Tim Dean said, "Look," he said, "Can I talk to you in back in my kitchen?" I was like, "Sure." I got to know Tim. I was like, "Everything all right?" He said, "Man, I need you to, do parties here." I'm like, "Well, I do special events." I said, "But I don't know about parties." Right. He was talking about doing something every day. I was like, "Damn, Tim."
He said every day.
He said, yeah, Tim's wild. But he said, "Look, every time you here, a lot of people are here, and my bar does well." I said, "Well, I can't do every day, Tim." I said, "But I could do once a week," and that's when I started Hump Day Happy Hour at Timothy Dean's. But as soon as I started that, two of the people, all of the in crowd, as they said, would come, and I met Marcy and Gary Gray.
Okay.
And
Gigi, yeah.
Marcy and I clicked off the break. That was like my sister, you know, like we partied together, and I knew once I had the opportunity that I would work with her, so I did. And when Timothy Dean's, we outgrew Timothy Dean's and went to Eden's Lounge.
Yes.
I said, I'm gonna do the happy hour with Marcy, and now at Eden's, we have room for an after party. I'm gonna do the after party with Gary Gray.
Okay.
So Gary Gray and Marcy, I would say, once I started the business, were my biggest influences at that time. And then once I started to want to do things outside of a pre-established club or account, that's when I leveraged my relationships, speaking of relationships, with the Urban League, because I was also the VP of GBLA, Greater Baltimore Leadership Association.
So I'm going to hold you right there, because we're going to take a quick break. But I'm telling you, I'm learning something today. So we'll be back, more Living a Rich Life talk show featuring my man Zeke, BeExposedRadio.com. We'll be right back. The one thing I like about this show,
like the one thing you always gotta remember is people gonna try to project their insecurities onto you. But you can't listen to what them niggas saying. You gotta get out here and do your shit regardless. You gonna do what you love for the rest of your life anyway. So why not turn that shit into something? Be a man of everything you say. This shit bigger than me, man. Like yeah, I'm good and all that, but you know what I mean? I ain't shit without y'all. What you up with, just go hard. Don't matter. Can you imagine how I really having nothing is? Stomach growling, you ain't got no food in the fridge. Surviving on a jail diet of water and bread. No father figure, it's cause my father dead. Mom's bringing different niggas in and out the crib. No money, so you seen this less than all your friends. But it a joke because your mother was a crackhead. Older sister hoeing off, giving all the homies head. I could wait for your response, but they let her hear me talk, so I'll just wait for the applause. I always knew that I was great, I got them haters so appalled. I'ma make it out the darkness, and my word is my bond. Delivering these bars while I'm gripping on my balls. Jealous niggas hate to see you succeed, so fuck them all. I'm the master of my destiny, nigga, you not in charge. You either on your grind or in the way, so get lost. Be a man of everything you say you stand for. Lead your people by example, being hands-on. If you're back against the wall to get your...
Take a minute and listen to this flashback of the Artist Exchange radio show.
Any trouble, because I get into any trouble, but I had a problem that this then became a discussion at that workplace environment. Now, the discussion was I should have been more sensitive. In what way was my first response? And I guess when I had to meet with that said person who had the issue with the person who was said leader of that organization, I said, well, to that person, how would I have known that? Well, you should have asked.
I think so. You want my opinion?
It was a circle, and I was willing to go on that merry-go-round.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Welcome back to Living a Rich Life talk show here on Be Exposed Radio. We're going to keep the conversation going.
Yes, sir.
So please, by all means, continue the story.
Oh, yeah. So what I was saying was that D. Chase and Breck Barbie planted the seed. Gary Gray and Marcy definitely nurtured it. And I learned a lot about how to manage nightlife and club owners. And then, last but not least, through my relationship with the Urban League, I was able to meet Finney.
Okay.
So got to shout out the Urban League. Sharon Porter made the introduction. And that's when I got to see events on a macro level,
right.
which kind of gave me some perspective on a range of events. So from from a weekly happy hour at a nice restaurant to managing brands, like when I worked with Sanjay Productions on the Mellow Mario event, the Belvedere 1X launch party. Like that was a whole production. We had the warehouse, we had to, get the liquor and the cars and the video and
all the work that folks don't see.
Right.
But they come, they have a good time.
Right.
And they want something else.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So yep. So include Finn in there, and I think a lot of people helped me along the way. But I think those are the top 5 that
kind of influenced you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So during this segment, we're gonna let some of the folks that shared some questions.
Okay.
They said, "Hey, I want you to ask these questions." I kind of switched some things around.
Okay.
But we're gonna go right for the jugular. Right for the jugular. Right. See, so I know you're married. Mostly everyone knows you're married.
Right.
I had one fan who actually, literally, she was like, "Would you ever leave your wife for another woman?" I can't make this up. I said, we're going to talk about it. I said, I can get one question, something like that crazy. Because I know your wife, too.
Right.
She can be like, Rich, what was you thinking? You know?
Well, fortunately, my wife is secure. So, but yeah, no, I believe that marriage is for life, and it's funny because there were certain priorities that we placed when we decided to get married because it was a lot going on at the time. And I remember when the official said, what was the line? I think it was when she said, "To death do us part." No. She said, "This is an agreement not to be entered lightly." And when she said that,
right,
and looked over and she had her glasses, it was an older black woman, and she said that, it was something about that line that was like, this is something for life.
Right.
And I haven't, always been the best. Learning to be a good husband was definitely a process. We've been married 10 plus years now. I probably spent the first 5 years figuring it out.
Right. Okay.
But and you never have it all figured out. But to answer the question, no. My plan is that marriage is a lifelong thing, and I hope we are married for a lifetime.
I'm sure you will, because y'all have some extraordinary experiences. I know she doesn't go out as much these days, because we connected at this event just past Saturday.
Right.
My man Dave, and then we also connected the Silent Beach party.
So
that was a good time.
Yep.
Right. So okay, all right. Well, we're gonna keep it going. The one thing, because I do my research, before my guests come on.
Okay.
So there was a few things, I do ask for bios and all, but sometimes I gotta do my own digging.
Okay.
The one thing that I didn't know, and we're gonna have a rich life moment in time that we kind of take steps back as to when we met, but let's see if you remember. So as we talk either or, you're a native New Yorker.
Yes.
As am I. Right?
Okay.
So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right.
So football or baseball?
Football.
Okay. So who's your team? Giants or Jets?
Giants.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, this is how you know a real New Yorker.
Right. That's true.
Okay, but you got a baseball team too. It would be
the Yankees.
Yankees. Okay, that's a solid New Yorker. I just want.
Right.
Soccer.
Unless you're from Queens. Queens cats for some reason like the Mets, and often like the Jets.
I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. I'm a Bronx bomber myself, all the way. All the way.
Go.
All right, talking extraordinary experiences. So for travel, domestic or international?
International.
International.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll assume you have a passport then.
Yeah. Domestic is cool too, though. But I like to get some stamps on a passport, and it doesn't have to be too far.
Right.
Like I went to Antigua a couple of years ago, and man, I've been to fortunately a lot of Caribbean islands, and but Antigua.
Yeah, it was nice.
Oh man, it's just
put that on the list.
Not an island for nightlife.
Right.
That's for a couple. That's something to bring the lady to.
Okay.
Beautiful beaches, beautiful people, and they really cater to you.
Okay.
Wonderful sceneries, very hilly. So the hotels are often built into the hills.
Oh, nice.
Very
nice.
beautiful.
Okay.
But the nightlife is non-existent.
So he said non-existent.
Yeah, don't go there with your boys.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with that being said, you a night owl or an early riser? See, so given
spilled a little bit.
You know, I don't have no napkins. I got many things. I don't have no napkins for you.
That's all right.
Night owl or early riser?
I tell you, it's I'm both. I know that sounds crazy, but when I have an event, you know, like I do Thursdays at Noir, so Friday morning, my wife has to take the lead on getting the kids ready.
Okay.
But every other morning, actually, I'm the one who gets up and gets the kids ready for school and gets them dressed and cooks breakfast. So typically, I'm a morning person unless I have an event the night before.
Okay, so we're going to take another quick break. Okay, we'll be back. We'll keep it going. And you mentioned Noir. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. We're going to talk about that and some other things coming up for events for good people. How's that sound?
Good.
All right. Good. We'll be right back. More BeExposedRadio.com. My man Zeke. We'll be right back. Oh, okay.
The times when we cared for one another, we shared the same respect. What is happening? We're trading what's important for shiny things. I can't allow this blasphemy. It's blasphemy. Why would you treat yourself like that? We didn't come this far just to fall right back. Don't lose yourself, stay on track. Baby, you're a god. You're a god. Baby, you're a god. Believe that. Full of the things that we've overcome. Full of unspoken battles we've won. You're so much better than that.
The Artist Exchange Radio Show every Friday 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. every Saturday 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Real artist, real talk, real live. On BeExposedRadio.com. I was meeting with a friend yesterday, and I've gotten to the point where don't ask me a question because the truth is going to come out. Exactly. Just don't do it.
If you ain't looking for the truth, don't come to me.
Don't do it because I can't hold my tongue. And she wants to be this stylist, boutique. But you're not doing anything in that nature. And I can't take you seriously if you're not doing those things. And I understood why people didn't take me seriously because I found myself in somebody else's lane. I was good at what I was doing and what I wanted to be, but I wasn't doing it for me. So how can I ask you to take me seriously if I'm living in somebody else's shoes?
And nobody can do what you do. And I think that that's a big problem that people face now. Like you see what somebody else is doing and you want to do that when that's not your lane.
That's not your lane.
That's not what you're supposed to be doing.
But it's popular. It's getting that person money. It's getting that person applause. Oh, I want applause. I want money. Let me stand over here behind them.
And then a lot of times people aren't honest with themselves either. Like I was thinking earlier today.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Welcome back to Living a Rich Life talk show. So before the break, we started talking about some of the different things that you got going on.
Yep.
So before we even do that, let's make sure the audience and folks out there listening, so how do they stay in contact with you?
To stay in contact with me on Instagram, E4GP. On Twitter, E4GP. On Facebook, I usually just use my personal, but I need to get a consistent business page on Facebook because I have a couple out there, but none of them I don't really use. So I need to work on that. But my personal page on Facebook is Azikiwe Deveaux, just my full name.
Okay.
But I do need to do that. But I'm an Instagram head, so that's where I'm more frequently.
Frequently, okay, yeah. They say Instagram is the new business card. Someone told me
okay.
that.
All right.
Zeke like, I ain't hear that.
Sounds good.
Right, that's what I said too. I just started because my son was like, yo, you need an Instagram. Mm-hmm. So I really just started. So
I've been on Instagram. I can't front. I always liked it because it was just post.
Yeah, easy. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. Mm-hmm. All right. So tell us what's next. What's happening? You mentioned Thursdays. Right?
Yes. So I told myself I wasn't going to do any more weeklies, but I got a call from a friend of mine, Corey Brown. He said I'm opening a new spot called Noir, and calling it New York, Noir because it's French, black, French, and black for French. Black is Noir, and we're black owned, and we're trying to make something quality that you would normally only see downtown in areas closer to where many of us live. And and he sold me on it, man. And I said, all right, let's do it. And I'm happy I did because it taught me how to be patient with our business, help one another grow, and then it feels good to be in business with someone that you can relate to. You have a similar background, a similar story. So and his partner Tony, a great guy who I also knew from before the business. So happy to be working with those young brothers on Thursdays at Noir. And then monthly, speaking of Dave, I just started a little First Friday happy hour with Dave at the Avenue called Champagne and Lobsters.
So where's the
Lobster and Champagne? The Avenue is in Hamden.
That's what I thought. That's
right.
Okay.
36th Avenue in the Hamden area. It's called The Avenue. Has $30 lobsters. Platter comes with 2 sides. We have great champagne deals starting at like $50 and $60 and on up. And the next one will be October 4th. That's going to be every first Friday.
So that's like a good date spot, maybe?
Good date spot.
Okay. Yeah, I don't eat seafood. I can't do shellfish.
Okay, well, they have other food. They have other food. We're just featuring the lobster and the champagne.
Gotcha.
But they still have the full menu and full drink menu as well.
Okay.
Yep. So that's weekly, Thursdays at Noir, monthly, first Fridays at the Avenue, and then the annual special events like my birthday, the Summer Black event.
I missed this one this year.
Right. That's always a big event of the summer.
Yes.
And speaking of summer, during the summer we do the Silent Beach Party on a monthly basis now.
Okay.
So we're actually going to squeeze one more of those in Columbus Day Sunday. So even though summer ended this past weekend, we're going to do one more Silent Beach Party at South Point October 13th. Columbus Day Sunday.
October 13th.
Yeah.
I will be there. I'm bringing a couple more folks this time.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm gonna be
and
there.
that's also Morgan State homecoming weekend. So some of the people who are staying Sunday will be able to enjoy that event as well.
Yep. So, which again, when we talk about the rich life moment in time, I think that's kind of when we really started connecting was homecoming. Because I did a lot of stuff with Chase. Right. I still, I'm in the back office.
Right. I can
I'm in the back office.
Sometimes that's the best place to be.
Well, I gotta say, it is the best place to be. Cats were like, yo, how'd you get back there? Whatever, I say, because I'm grinding, and at the same time, I think helping each other, whatever facets that we can.
Right.
I don't look for nothing. I don't look for a check. I do look to get in the place free.
Right.
We keep it 100.
Right.
But at the end of the day, everyone's doing well. They're doing their thing.
Right.
And we having a good time.
Right.
I think, again, your events that I've been to, folks look good. There's nothing like black folks coming together looking good.
I agree.
And having a good time, and everyone stays in their lane. They understand what they can do. They enjoy.
Right.
That's a good name. Events for good people.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's
I love it. I love it.
I always say it's not about me. It's about the people.
Yeah. So how did you come up with it?
Well, it started out actually, funny enough, as just good people.
Okay.
So ironically, I said it's about the people. It started out just as good people, and I had two partners at that time, Sophia Rudisil and Brecklin Barbie, and we had done a few events at Gordon's. Remember Gordon's?
Okay. Yep.
And but they were more casual about it, and I my interest in the industry was growing faster than theirs.
Right.
And so I knew in order for us to maintain our friendship that I needed to branch off. So it was definitely amicable. I think Sophia not that long after started her family, and Breck was doing some different things. And so I wanted to keep the Good People brand that I had, established, but I wanted to definitely make it clear that it was different. So then I added the events for Good People, and I put the number 4 to give it some uniqueness. With branding, and that's how it started. And then about a couple of years in, I decided to just use the initials E4GP. That's when the social media really started kicking off, and I wanted to have something that was more concise that I can have as my social media handles, and it took off.
It took off. So I will say, because it went from events for good people, and then the whole E4GP. I remember that. I just kind of remember that taking off, and not to say that things kind of, because you was in an upward climb. They kind of, like you said, you talked about it earlier. Things kind of, Then I saw a rise with the E4GP again. I said, okay, that's a good look. And I gotta say, you cats, and I say cats, you, a couple other folks, within the DMV area, because I think again, a lot of folks are doing a lot of good things in terms of entertainment wise. And I think there's opportunities there to do something even more with the community. So I'm looking forward to what's next from everybody. That's kind of where I'm at right now. What's happening? What's going on here? What's going on here? So I think that's good. Okay. Yeah, that I remember when you changed it up. I remember when you changed it up. So if you was to give some advice to the next generation, which I think is very important.
You gotta
in this day and age. What advice would you give to an individual that's trying to start their own company, be an influencer, a marketer, promotions, giving back to what would be your advice to an individual trying to do that?
Well, I'll start with some things that I see that they're actually doing, and I want to give the young brothers credit for, and
the young sisters.
And the young sisters, my bad. And then I'll also include some things I think they could be doing.
Okay.
But something that I like is that I see a lot of the young promoters or event producers not being afraid to take a risk and do an event that's costly or different, or requires more of them. And I really admire, and when I get a chance to, I always let the young brother and sisters know that I'm, proud of them. Like even if you lose, you took the risk. You went out, you took a step out on faith. So I'm really happy. I want to encourage all young brothers and sisters who are in the industry of event production and promotion to continue to push the limits and continue to do things that haven't been done before. So I'm proud a lot of them are doing that. Something that, I did the same thing when I was their age, but I would like to see them spend better. I still got a whole bunch of Gucci shoes and Gucci sneaker boxes in my closet that I don't even wear anymore, because you got to keep up with it. And then I had all the True Religions when that was in, now they wear the Balmains, but the True Religions were $300 back then too, so that was the thing then.
You could have went to Nordstrom and
well, I mean that happened later, but I mean
when it first jumped
right.
Up. Okay, true.
So, but I mean, it's funny to see them now because I did the same thing,
Right. Yeah.
But that's something that I would like to see them work more on. although a lot of them, are investing and doing some different things, I'm proud of them. But a lot of them I see are wasting a lot of money. And you can have a 16, 17 year run, but it's not going to be the same.
Right.
Because people's priorities change, so they spend different, which affects the bottom line. But yeah, so I'll just encourage them to be a little more long term with some of their thinking.
Economic wisdom is what I like to call it. I'm still working on, again, the 6 elements. Again, it's kind of, if you notice the logo, it's a life meter. It's really a life meter.
I thought it was a speedometer.
Yeah, see?
Okay.
It's a life meter. If you think of a gas tank.
Right.
So whatever works, it can be a speedometer, because when you start, if you're 0 versus,
But you know what? I like this life meter almost like a gas tank, what you just described, because you want to operate full. You want to be full spiritually, relationship-wise, and all these other ways with this. A speedometer, I thought it was that, but I didn't like that, but I just thought that's what it was. Because you don't always have to be...
had this conversation.
Right. Because as you know, sometimes, moving fast is not moving wisely.
Exactly.
So I like that. Okay, so
events for good people. We're going to talk some business.
Right.
Next commercial.
I like it.
Right. Because sometimes you do that. But we featuring you today.
Okay.
We'll talk offline about that.
Okay.
Right? So we talked about earlier in terms of when you have events, how do you balance everything, right? So with the family, with the business, right. The events during the week. You got folks wanting you to do stuff every day, right. Sometimes you got to tell folks no, which this is okay. How do you balance it?
I just try to, compartmentalize these different things, but also understanding that they're all me, you know. So when I'm at an event hosting, I don't want to be such a host. I want to be a great host, but I don't want to forget, that I'm still a husband and a father as well. But I do want, at that moment anyway, for the people supporting my event to be the priority. Whereas of course, outside of that atmosphere, my family is the priority. But I want the people, I want to at least be a good enough, gracious enough host where people, at least for that time, are the priority and feel like they're the priority.
Okay. And that came from one of your, I don't even call them fans, but folks that follow you, supporters.
Okay.
That's the better word. I like that. That came from one of your supporters.
Okay.
Because we literally had a conversation, and I said, I've been to Zeke's events, and I've always felt welcome, having a good time. You almost, there's a lot of people during the course of the night, but you've always kind of said, hey, you're having a good time. You would always check on it, right? I think when I first started, we really started first connecting. You was having your tables and all. You even shared your liquor with me. I don't know this dude from nothing. he drinking all, So now it's easy flowing. You be like, Rich, you got it. I think that's a good thing. Again, that's the one thing that I really enjoy about your events. Things that I'm mindful of. My circle has definitely gotten smaller, and it could be for things that some decisions I've made, whatever the case is. Because again, I think the whole living a rich life is about change. And I've gone through some things. I'm in a different place now. I made some mistakes similar to you learn, right? So some folks believe I've changed and I'm learning still. Some folks was like, well, right. We keep, we talking very candidly. So I appreciate that about you, brother.
Yes, sir.
I will definitely appreciate. You too smooth too. Zeke is he is the smoothest guest I've had thus far. My very first guest, he was smooth, but he was
intense.
I said I said okay. These my people. Right. So we got to take a quick break. Okay. We're gonna come back. We're gonna have that rich life moment in time. Okay. And I don't know if you've seen any of my shows before, but a little something that I do because I'm big on memories. Okay. All right. So we'll be right back. Living a Rich Life talk show. We'll be right back. Yeah. All right.
You're like an internal bleeder. Can't see your pain, but it can silently kill ya. So deeply wounded, but don't say a thing. Too afraid of what the people may say or think. So you just sit there and you suffer in silence. Your pride won't let you just uncover your secret. Don't wanna look weak in your image, it ain't worth losing. So you just act as if it's nothing happening. God sees you.
There's a rumor going around that Tyler Perry and Oprah are beefing. Well, let me tell you about this. Tyler, okay, told Oprah, bitch, if you don't have my money, we're going to have a problem. Ooh. Oprah said, what is the problem? Ooh. You said if I don't have your money, there was going to be a problem. So Oprah is standing her ground like, bitch, I'm in charge. Yeah, you may have a $250 million studio over there that you film all your shows and movies and stuff on, but I have the empire. That's what Oprah said.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Welcome back to Living a Rich Life talk show featuring my good friend and associate Zeke here on BeExposedRadio.com. So what we're going to do now is I call this a rich life moment in time, right? So what I do, I have my guests. I like to have my guests sign my poster. So I'm big on memories. All right. So when you become a trillionaire, you're gonna make sure you invite me to the house in Beverly Hills. So we got a Sharpie. Okay. I like to capture joints here. You can sign it anywhere you want. Okay. Alrighty, here you go. You know how to work that right there. All right. You ain't, I should throw a check up there. Yeah, feel free to sign anywhere you want, and we'll keep this interview going on. So, a question again from one of your supporters was, what is your favorite holiday?
Let me take a break. I'll write that later.
Yeah.
My favorite holiday.
Zeke, your birthday's not a holiday.
You know what's funny? That's the thing that came to my mind. That definitely came to my mind. I can't lie. I would have to say Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. Tell us why.
Because Halloween is, I know a lot of, especially women, they love Halloween. They want to dress. That's not really, I mean, I'll do it. It's something fun to do, but Christmas, the financial pressure that a lot of people put on themselves, I won't even say that other people put on them, that people put on themselves, kind of takes that from being a number one, because it's a lot of pressure. People go into debt and everything around Christmas. But Thanksgiving is just one of the last few pure holidays, and I know some people are going to talk about the history of the holiday and the horrific things that the colonizers did to the indigenous people of the Americas. But so I won't even say Thanksgiving. I'll call it. My father calls it Turkey Day. Okay. So that way we don't even have to deal with how it originated. We'll deal with what it does now. What it does now is brings family together around food at the same table, which is more and more rare. You know, people eat on the go. They don't sit together and eat, and there's a tremendous value in family and friends of family sitting together, eating, breaking bread. So Thanksgiving, Turkey Day. Turkey Day.
Turkey Day. Yeah, I have to say, for me, it's probably around that time. My family doesn't get together like we used to. And that's a whole nother Othello. Right? But I think, again, having that folks get around, you know, the electronics are away from the table, because again, I think that just takes away from a lot of stuff now. Some of the distractions that are there now were not so much there when we were younger.
That's true.
I mean, at the end of the day, there was no, you know, these smartphones, and, you know, all these types of games. You play video games?
No, I'm not a video game person.
I used to be. My brother used to be too.
My kids love it though.
They love it.
Yeah, they're Xbox heads.
Oh, they any good?
Yeah. My oldest son, he challenges grown folks all the time in 2K and yep.
Oh, okay. All right. So favorite holiday is Turkey Day. Turkey Day. I'm trying to find some other questions that some of your supporters. Okay. Here's a good one.
Okay.
Do you have any regrets in life?
I know it's cliche to say, but you know, every mistake you learn from, you know, so if I could take back something I did, then I would probably know less. So do I want to know less?
So let me rephrase that question, because that is a valid point, right? I think each thing that you go through, good, bad, or indifferent, there's a takeaway from it, right? So when did you, the aha moment in life, right? I recently, I mean, this whole talk show, you know, some things going on in my life, I feel like I really had my aha moment. I've had those right? But recently, I've had my aha moment where I said, Rich James, you can no longer follow your plan. You got to follow God's plan. So when did that really hit you? I think that's a better question.
I would say probably when Mirage closed. I felt like, you know, because before that, my business just was constantly going up. As soon as I thought I hit an apex, it was another level, you know. Was doing Gordon's and on a small level, and those were going great, and didn't know what was going to happen after that. And then Timothy Dean's happened. And then, you know, I thought that was the apex because everybody would come through there, like Dick Gregory. That's where I first met Billy Murphy and Zach. And so I met everybody through Timothy Dean and didn't think it could, you know, get any better. We outgrew Timothy Dean's. What were we going to do? And then Eden's Lounge came up, which is still an iconic, you know, experience for most people in the city. Right. So then Eden's, and then remember, I was at Eden's exclusively first. They weren't working with any other promoter. So that was a great experience. Then I had friends and peers start to open up places. You know, so Marty with Pure and being exclusive with Pure, exclusive promoter there first before he worked with anyone else. And the same thing with Milan. Smitty opened Milan. I was Milan Mondays, you know, and Milan Mondays we had Julius Irving come through and Vivica Fox, and these were people who just came through, not, you know, hosts or anything. So it was, you know, and then I got the opportunity to do Bourbon Street Rooftop, you know, through a relationship. And so I was able to get Fridays and give D Chase and Dewan and Dawi and people, so everybody could eat off of that. And so then things were just going up and up and up. And then when Mirage, this was a guy who basically handed me the keys.
Right.
You know, this owner didn't want to do anything but collect his money. So it was like I owned the place. I could choose with DJs, with promoters, with not. I could the security staff. I had my experience running a club,
Right.
and so I knew what to do to make it, you know, profitable. So you know, we're making a lot of money, you know, at Mirage, and it's funny because I remember there was another older promoter. I won't say the name. But they said to me, I guess something in my vibe gave a certain vibe. And they were like, you know, this ain't gonna last forever. And I thought they were hating.
Right.
But they were giving me a piece of wisdom that they had. And actually, I don't mind saying who it was because it's really a compliment to her because she's not a hater at all. But at the time, I just wasn't ready to receive the wisdom she was giving me. It was Tracy Stafford.
Okay.
And she saw me out front of Mirage. I guess I was feeling myself, and she was happy for me. I could tell, but she saw me maybe in a place maybe she was at one time,
Right.
and she said, "Zeke, you know this ain't gonna last forever." And I was like, okay, Jay, whatever. But sure enough, about a year later, you know, the owner had closed the doors, you know, whatever, and so to get to your question, that was like my moment because up until that point, it was always going up, and I always saw the next move up.
Right.
And when that closed, I hadn't yet prepared for what would be the next move up.
Right.
So I just felt like I had nothing for a while, which is very humbling, you know. And then this is social media age, so people posting the tombstone with Mirage on it, you know, and all and just, you know, dog. This is when, you know, God bless the dead, you know, good brother G Songs was still around, you know, G Songs was alive, you know, G Songs forever. So he had a whole thing of, you know, Mirage, you know, he had a whole list of jokes for the closing of Mirage.
Man.
But yeah, so that was very humbling, and I had to really humble myself and start over, man, and go back to what I knew, which was quality over quantity, and do some small happy hours and start to pull my folks back together and let them know, yeah, my head got big in my Mirage days and pockets got big too.
Right.
But you know, I'm back, and it's about the people again. You know.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So we gotta take a quick break. We'll be back. We're gonna talk a little offline.
Okay.
And said we're gonna keep the party going. We'll be back. BeExposedRadio.com. Living a Rich Life talk show featuring my good buddy Zeke. Let's go. Right. Yeah. I remember.
First they love you, then desert you, leave with a plate full with no spoon. Ain't no space, I can't escape negativity. I got used to the taste of been bad, burned, then fucked over. But remain strong through the Passover. Kicking haters out of the way like masked over. Roll up, sip something, let it pass over. Who would I be? It ain't the man to me to let the next man take advantage of me. When that storm come, no pan I see. Get with it, not without it, then you'll see. I peep the haters, they know I'm greater. That's why they buzzing for the elevator. But I can't save you, the weed too loud on the pedal stool. Don't carry favors, always got your hand out demanding favors. When I just looked out, now you need more paper. I can't breathe, give me 3 feet. I never let y'all be the death of me. When my patience run there, yeah, nigga OT. Cause they wanna see me down like I'm NCT. 6 words, get the fuck away from me. Say I help you out if you can help yourself. I keep it G till I DIE. Now excuse me while I get back to PC. HOP ain't losing sleep while your third eye always on me. I'm steady green just to be
now listen to BeExposedRadio.com. Check out this fire flashback.
We need to relearn what it is to be these bosses and how we conduct ourselves as business-minded individuals and just people in general. I let my gut, and if I call it gut or God or whatever, I'm led by that energy. I know where it comes from. I know where it's, taking me, and you have to figure out what is important to you, and don't play this game. It's a game that we've learned.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Welcome back to Living a Rich Life talk show. We're going to keep it going. We're having some good conversation offline, a lot happening. So I'm thinking we need to definitely go grab a drink or something to eat afterwards.
Yeah.
Hopefully you have some time.
Yes, let's do it.
I know a friend of mine and a good friend of yours, and I think one of the places for homecoming is at Montego.
Yes.
Bar and Grill?
Montego
That's
Bar and
where I'm
Grill.
thinking we can go. They got a little something happening tonight.
Oh, they do? Okay.
Yeah. I got a little time. I can
Okay.
grab-
I have to stop and pick up something from
Okay.
Terps over by Access. But yeah, after that.
Alrighty. So let's keep it going. So question here. So this is a question from again another one of your supporters.
All right. I appreciate all you supporters asking fair questions, not asking anything too crazy.
Oh, well.
Except for that first one. You got some crazy ones?
I can give you some crazy ones. I just have to. I said I ain't going to give you, but too many
Well,
crazy.
let me thank Rich then for editing the.
Yeah, some of these joints. I'll have to share with you later.
Okay, tell me later.
So do you have a mentor? I think, again, from overall when it comes to business, when it comes to school, I think a lot of folks benefit from mentors.
That is true. That is true.
First question, do you have a mentor? Did you have a mentor? And are you a mentor?
Yes.
So.
Yes. I'll answer the latter first.
Okay.
Yes, there are club owners that I came up with that call me for advice, younger promoters, people getting into the liquor industry, and people who really tell me I should start like a consulting group because I've advised friends who've opened clothing lines, and they have told me that they have taken a suggestion of mine and it turned great profit for them.
Okay.
So I think just always being interested in people and doing events for people and learning what people like and enjoy has given me a lot of insight as to a lot of those skills are transferable to other businesses. Because all businesses are trying to move people, whether it's to make a purchase or to go a certain place.
Right.
And so yeah, I've mentored a lot. Somebody needs to cut a check. A few of y'all out there need to cut a check. And then,
I know that's right.
Yeah, I still keep in touch, with my original 5 after all of these years.
Okay.
But you know what? That's something that I do need to probably work on. I appreciate that question, whoever it came from. I need to work on firming up a good mentor.
Gotcha.
Because I have a few people who I consult with. You know what? Who I can give props to these days, who I probably consult with the most? Zach McDaniels.
Okay.
Zach is somebody who I really trust his opinion, and I can call for advice. So, current mentor right now, other than one of the things, again, not to talk about definitely good one. my older brother. My father left when I was around 4. So, and then, so you know, he and my mom, I think I sort through how they were co-parent. So then I think I got some consistency probably around 6 or 7 years later when they worked out every other weekend. And I think my mom felt like I was one of those kids who like most people say been here before or he's been here before. So I think I had a level, right, I had a level of maturity that made her feel more comfortable, maybe a little more flexible. So, so I was one of those kids who had, you know, later curfew. So other kids my age had to be in for a street, right? I was still outside with the older kids. Okay. A lot of times, but yeah. So yeah, I wouldn't say my mom was strict, but she definitely communicated well with me what she felt was appropriate and what she didn't, and she let me know when I did this work and things that you know made her feel proud. How many siblings do you have? I'm one older blood brother. I say blood brother because you know it's not a friends I've developed over the last 20 plus years that I call like the Chase. I call my brother. Right. Yeah, friends 20. Chase is scheduled you and night.
Yeah. No technical difficulty.
My phone.
Sometimes we have these things, but we'll keep it going. Keep it going. So as I mentioned, you know, you mentioned Chase earlier. He was again a catalyst for me to do this talk show.
That's what's up.
So they're gonna change me out. All right. So we got a couple of things. So you know, this is a fun question. Nothing too heavy.
Okay.
Do you think it's are you a rule breaker?
Am I a rule breaker? Whoa. Oh, it's me?
No, it was you.
Fancy. I'm thinking of working on getting some big mics.
Okay. Like the breakfast morning, breakfast show.
Exactly. We're gonna work it out.
There you go.
They won't hear none of that noise. All right. So breaking rules. Don't try to skip.
Am I a rule breaker?
I figured that's appropriate because maybe when you was young, you was a rule breaker. You got older, you got wiser. That's what they say.
I do appreciate structure. I do appreciate structure. Like if you know anybody who's worked with me knows, you know, I want to get the theme straight. I want to understand what we're doing. I want to be clear about the expenses, the vision, and I want to, you know, communicate that to who I'm working with, and you know, and we'll have check-ins.
Make sure the expectation is
right.
Clear,
right.
so that it can be met.
Right. So I think, you know, I'm structured in that regard. But yeah, I'd say, you know, in many cases I am a rule breaker. You know, I don't believe in because something's been done that way for a long time that it's the best way. Right. You know, I'm willing to try a new route. And you know, I'm confident in myself to make my own path.
Okay, no, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
So again, we're talking about extraordinary experiences. Maybe I'll hold off on this question because it has to do with your personal style, right? Because again, I've been to your events. You know, you dress pretty nice.
Thank you.
I don't know what she was doing today. No. That's my man. I said exactly. I said come. I got on jeans because I knew the plan was to go to this other spot. So
okay, all right.
You perfect. Okay, my man.
All right.
So we'll be right back. We gonna mess with Zeke. See, I got him for 2 hours today, so you know I had to mess with you. We'll be right back.
So speaking of after this.
Far into this unknown to find who we really are. Crash into something new and take a break from our broken heart. Talk with the hip, tell me you lie. I think we should go for another round. Baby, try not to say too much. Let your love come down. If you wanna rule, it's some rules you gotta live by. Live by. Stay true to your cool, make a move, don't wait on nobody else. And if it feels like a melody, sing a song, be my radio. And if you follow me there, I'll follow you back. Let the night unfold. I can tell that she can't get enough, show enough, she couldn't keep her hands off from me. I know she couldn't keep her hands off from me. Touching hands till we dance in the dark, show enough, she couldn't keep her hands off from me. We do whatever you like, keep her hands off from me. I know she couldn't keep her hands off from me. So let's slide, you and me alone, to find who we really are. Crash into something new. I got that leg banging up the car. So told me you kiss, told me you lie. I think we should go for another round. Baby, I wanna take you, but we gotta cruise so we can lose the crowd. If you wanna rule, there's some rules you gotta live by. Live by. Stay true to your cool, make a move, don't wait on nobody else. And if it feels like a melody, sing a song, be my radio. And if you follow me there, I'll follow you back. Let the night unfold. I can tell that she can't get enough, show enough, she couldn't keep her hands off from me. I know she couldn't.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Alright, welcome back. We're having some phone issues or watch issues up in here.
Right.
So before the break,
there we go.
I wanted to talk about again, like I said, how would you describe your personal style? Because like I said, you always look pretty dapper. Did they
Not always, but yeah, dapper, jiggy, sharp.
Oh, do
what
they
is
still
the word? Lit? No, I'm not lit.
Nah.
It's not, that's not lit.
Oh goodness. How would you describe your personal style?
Personal
This is from one of your supporters, by the way.
I try to do something fly in a not so noticeable way.
Okay.
You know, like right now it's like a dad style I'm rocking. You know, I got my cargo shorts, button up, and what would appear to be like hiking or utility shoe. Which that's all true.
And you look comfortable.
I'm comfortable.
Yeah.
But they're not, Rockports. They're Nike Vapor Max. These, I forgot what these cargos are, but they're not, whatever. And this is a, Super Drive button up, so it's gonna have a different fit. So I like stuff that's like, it's plain, but if you really peep it.
Right.
You can see the little individual style in there. You can see the swag, and then I appreciate that because then I know, like, who's into the same thing I'm into, because they'll be like, oh, okay, I see, what you're doing, where other people never even notice.
Okay. So you notice, but you're not noticed.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. I got a friend of mine that says he is the most unknown, well-known person.
Okay, all right. So that's my style. Like that.
Right.
I got an unknown, known style.
Like, okay, yeah, I see that. I can rock with that.
Right.
Like,
right.
No. I mean, that's real. That's real. Okay.
Right.
These folks, don't be surprised if one of your supporters come there just looking like you. Oh goodness, that's too funny.
That's funny. These are some good questions, though. I appreciate.
Yeah.
Questions from the supporters.
Absolutely. This is what they want to know. So what type of hobbies? What do you do?
Did somebody really ask that, or that's
this
a
is my
okay?
question.
That's a rich question.
This is a rich question.
Okay.
So I mean, because again, I know you a little.
Right.
So I know some of these answers.
Right.
I got a feel for it.
Right. Well, I'm happy to say, man, I've picked up a healthy hobby.
Okay.
I think good health was your number one, right?
Yes,
That's number one.
Yep.
Yeah, at a point a few years ago, I was a big cigar smoker, big with the Douce on the cognac, cigars and cognac, and that stuff really can beat your body down. And before you know it, you can have, you can feel it, And so a few years ago, I found a network of guys at Johns Hopkins that play basketball Monday, Wednesday, Friday afternoon, which works for my schedule. And so a few years ago, so you may notice from Instagram, I lost probably, 15, 20 pounds in the last couple of years.
I'm glad you said it.
So I was chunky. I was definitely chunky. And I'm happy I lost it. And it was just all running basketball, man. Running full court 3 times a week. I played last night.
Okay.
Yeah, I played last night with Terrence from City of Gods. He came out. Sundiata came out, and D Chase came out as well.
Yeah, Chase be out there.
And
get me out there.
yeah, so I would say my hobby now, in addition to designing flyers, that's something I really enjoy, the artistic aspect of that. But yeah, so I would say my mental hobby is designing flyers as an art, and my physical hobby is playing basketball.
Okay.
Yep. Great cardio.
So you be out there when they playing basketball. I had 2 knee surgeries, so I really don't run.
Okay, gotcha.
So it'd be like 4 and 5.
Okay.
I'm waiting at half. I'm waiting at half court. I mean,
I'll tell you something that really will some serious cardio. Tio, I don't know if you know Tio, but he challenged me to a 1-on-1 full court. I thought I was gonna die.
Oh yeah, Lord have mercy.
But tied up, I'm proud to say, and for those who know Tio, he's a great basketball player. So I'm proud to say that we're tied up. I won 3 and he won 3. But
full court
1-on-1.
Yeah, that's a workout.
That's a workout.
I'm tired thinking about it.
Right.
Shoot, I'm tired thinking about it. All right, so one of the things, another thing that we do, again, we like to have word association. All right, it's a game that I play. Word association.
Okay.
I say, you say. I'm gonna say a word, and the first thing that comes to your mind, you go right ahead and spit it out.
All right.
Okay. So, music.
Hip hop.
Yes, I love it. Yes, I love it. City life.
Eating out.
I gotta say, Baltimore is becoming a spot.
A foodie town, man. I'm telling you, if you have, you don't really appreciate it until your friends and family come down or from out of town, and they love the food.
Yeah,
we have some great restaurants here.
Yeah. When you gonna open a restaurant, Zeke?
You know what? I will neither confirm nor deny at this time.
Right.
But
I won't let any cats out of the bag. Whatever's going on.
I've had a few good friends who have done well for themselves offer to invest in something for me. So I'm weighing my options.
Okay. Well, we're gonna keep it going. So just like Baltimore, the city is becoming a foodie town, and I said city life. Let's go with politics.
Dirty. Politics are dirty.
Oh, you ain't lying.
Especially with 45 in office and what they did to Pew. And I'm not saying she was perfect, but what they did to my man DeSouza.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a dirty game.
You ain't lying. That's why I stayed. We don't really touch politics, but I figured that's an appropriate word for someone in your level, what you do, because again, you engage with a lot of people.
Right.
But
to balance out my response, I know a lot of great politicians who do it for the right reasons.
Right.
You know, Marilyn Mosby is somebody, I just have great admiration for. All she risked to make a statement early in her career. Her husband, Nick, is a longtime friend of mine. Always felt like his heart was in the right place, is in the right place. There are a lot of good people who in politics as well.
Right.
So, just shouting those out. Really proud of what Brother Stokey's, working on, trying to do and trying to get into politics. So, yeah, they're not, when I say dirty, it's not all of them.
Right. Absolutely. We let you balance that out because it is we featuring you tonight. So, but I think it's good to balance though.
Right.
Balance is good. Fatherhood.
Proud.
Yeah. How old is your oldest?
10.
Okay.
10
Because I
and
know,
8.
Him and Chase, their son's
right.
the same age. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, both have 2 boys.
Yep. Relationships.
Love.
Nice. Alrighty, and we already touched on some of these other ones. I mentioned sports. You told me your teams already. So, okay. So that's the word association game.
Right.
Sometimes
I'm a Ravens fan too, though, for the record.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we're here.
Right.
But
I grew up a Giants fan, but I've been in Baltimore 21 years now.
Yeah.
21, probably going on 22. Yep.
Okay.
And got married here, had my kids here, own property here. So
this is where it's at.
This is where it's at. I got to be a Ravens fan.
You're not alone. You're not alone. So here's the $1 million question that I enjoy asking, for the simple fact that sometimes folks, not to criticize individuals, but their mindset when I ask the question, what does living a rich life mean to them? It goes to what it means to them at that point in time in their life.
Right.
So I've asked individuals, and I've said this before, in their 20s and 19, they tell me, a nice car, big house, right? I've asked some older folks, and first thing that said was good health, right? So to me, they're all stepping stones, and this is the order that I believe is right for me where I'm at in my life. Right now. So, what does living a rich life mean to you, sir?
I would agree with I think you have a good health. I definitely agree being healthy, because I had I messed up my shoulder a few years ago, and I was still able to do most things and play it off so nobody knew. But the pain in my shoulder during that time, I just really felt for people who have ailments, because I'm like, it completely distracts you, man. You can't fully focus when you're dealing with pain. Strong relationships are key. And it makes me think about family and friends, which is definitely which makes your life rich is your relationships. Financial freedom, yes, we hate to say it, but it's the reality, man. If you can't pay your bills, it's really hard to enjoy life. Goals and achievements, I do believe you should set milestones for yourself and check them off. I think that helps boost your richness in your life and your self-confidence.
Okay.
Extraordinary experiences. Yeah, man. And so stuff like travel that brings to mind, that broadens your horizons. And sometimes, you don't even have to travel far. Sometimes just doing something you wouldn't normally do. Like I volunteered last year to coach my son's flag football team. And having all of these little 6 and 7, 8-year-olds, looking at me like, Coach Zeke. It was, and then them asking me to come back the following season. It was an extraordinary experience that didn't cost me anything but some time.
That's what's up.
And philanthropy. Yeah, man, you got to give back, and it's not always money. I remember there was a meme going around on social media a little while ago, and they said supporting is not always about money. You'd be surprised how much giving somebody some of your time could mean to them, you know.
Absolutely.
So, you know, even like today, you know, my son has swim practice, and I got another meeting after this. But, you know, as you mentioned earlier, you know, you've always been a great guy in my eyes. You know, I don't know what anybody else says.
That's right.
You've been a great guy in my eyes. So when, you know, you asked me to be here, I made it a priority. I told my wife, whatever we got going on, I got to be here.
Yeah, and I appreciate that too. I
Yes,
truly do. And I know there's more to come for living a rich life,
yes,
as well as events for good people.
Yep.
So we're going to definitely do something.
I'm looking forward to it.
Where my logo going to be up there too.
Okay, all right, I like it.
I ain't going to just be in the back office.
No.
Every so often we might
There's
throw it
always room for your logo.
I know that's right.
You know, you got to have a check, though.
I know that's right. So time is up. I have to say this has been a good experience. Again, good people, events for good people. We're just gonna keep it going. Thank you for joining. I really appreciate the time, the energy, the events. I'm gonna share this story before we go. So one of my colleagues at Hopkins, because I do some stuff at Hopkins.
Okay.
I had a happy hour.
Okay.
And she came, you know, and I told her, and you know, I had a nice little. It was like my just touching it. It was really a birthday celebration for a female friend of mine.
Okay.
And she was like, don't you know Zeke? I was like, yeah. She was trying to compare an event you had to my event. I said, whoa, wait a minute. I said, first of all, it was a birthday party. I just invited you if you ain't had nothing to do.
Right.
She literally was trying to compare. I thought that was hilarious. Okay. I meant to share that with you like a long time ago.
Okay, she put the pressure on you.
That's what I was expecting. I said, well, you was expecting the wrong damn thing. So I want you to tune in next week. Living a Rich Life talk show. We're going to be featuring big media agency CEO Christina Royster here on BeExposedRadio.com. So be sure to check us out. Thanks for watching. Until next time, let's talk about it.
Nice.
Exposed Radio.
Well, if you made them, take care of them.
Yeah, that's
Period.
real.
You right.
That's the real deal.
It's period.
Right. And all that old money shouldn't go toward this, money should go to, if the child is with one of the parents 24/7, 7 days a week, you don't even come get your child every day. You come get your child once